Morning Blitz begins now.
Good morning and welcome into Wednesday. Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. We'll have a nice day today. Sunny, mid-80s, humidity down the breathable levels. Get out there and enjoy that. Maybe sit on the patio or your deck and have a cold beverage at some point in time.
Great suggestion.
Thank you. It was either that or curl up in a dark corner of your basement and do drugs that you shouldn't be. One of the two.
Hey, now we're talking. No, it's 59 right now.
Speaking of which, how are your plants doing there, Thick Rick?
They are fantastic. They are absolutely outstanding.
Now, does any, is there any natural predator to a pot plant?
Haven't had a problem.
Rabbits,
couple little, I think they're silkworms, little white, tiny worms a couple of those have gotten on it, but haven't really done anything. They bite into the leaf.
Yeah.
But I mean, rarely do I see a leaf with bug bites in it.
I've been told if you play either Willie Nelson or Snoop Dogg around your plants, they tend to thrive.
Is that right?
Do you use insecticide, or are these...
No, I don't spray
These
anything.
are organic?
Everything's organic.
All right.
Yeah.
How come you either haven't taken selfies with them or asked your wife to take a picture of you with them?
Who said I haven't?
Oh, okay.
Let's see them.
Yeah, I haven't seen them posted yet.
Actually, I don't have a selfie. I do have pictures of them.
Okay.
But this is the interesting thing. And then, so my friend Eric sent me pictures of two of his. He's the one I got the clones from to begin with. They were like, 12-inch plants when I got them. Mm-hmm. And he sent me pictures of his, and they've already got these pretty nice buds on them. I mean, so I texted him back. I said, yours are flowering already? He goes, oh, well, those two you're looking at are auto flower. I said, what? Auto flower? What is that? He goes, yeah, those are the seeds that I bought back in the spring. They were autoflower seeds. I'm like, what the hell are how? I don't understand. Autoflower. What does that mean?
Have you looked into how you're going to harvest them yet?
Yeah. Oh my dude, I've watched so many friggin' videos. Oh. Yeah. No, I'm ready. I am absolutely ready for that. But it's still going to be probably going to be at least 6 weeks.
All right.
But I want to know about the autoflower because it's like mid-August and he's already got these big old buds flowering on his plants.
Okay. So
Blitz Nation will know.
Kelly, I have a question for you because you are a resident TikTok person.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this cucumber snack that everybody's doing?
I don't think so.
Okay, the reason I ask is because I came home, I heard the other day, I heard the young girl in the household talking to no one in the kitchen, and I couldn't figure out why. So I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I tried this delicious new snack on TikTok, and I'm making a video about it. And it's this cucumber snack with soy, fish sauce, sugar, MSG, sesame oil, garlic, green onion, and sesame seeds.
Okay, I don't need any MSG and I don't need any fish oil, but I'm in with the rest of it.
But I guess you take it and mix it all together in some kind of fluid substance and you snack on it. And I am so assuming it's supposed to be some kind of healthy thing. But yeah, it was not for me. But she was giving it hell on the old TikTok thing. I mean, to me, I was like, wow, you got your clothes on, so I guess this is a decent TikTok video to make.
Yeah, just happy for that.
I get on board with that.
Now, a couple years ago, they had this big TikTok trend with pickles. Like, you'd get a jar of dill pickles and empty a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing, the powder or whatever, into it and shake it up and let it chill. And then people were eating that. I never tried that either.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if you had seen
this. I do like
this.
a snack trend.
Okay.
I do. I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you had knowledge of such things.
I love cucumbers. So.
Okay. Yeah, it just was one of those things. I would never try that. That's not my thing.
No.
But
nasty.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound good to me. But, everybody's snack tastes are different, so that's fine. What do we got for Morning Blitz trivia this morning there, Thick Rick?
$25 up for grabs to Water Beds and Stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstores, Columbus's original vapor store. The question, this restaurant chain has just announced a new subscription program. They have gold, silver, and bronze levels. A new subscription program at this restaurant chain. What is the chain? Be the first one to tell us at 99-700. Get the gift card.
Mudbaits on the Morning Blitz. It is 6:23 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis on a Wednesday, and your Morning Blitz trivia.
Question was, what restaurant chain just announced a new subscription program featuring gold, silver, and bronze tiers? And we had a couple guesses of Olive Garden. That was incorrect. I know they have some sort of thing where you pay a monthly charge and you can go eat like, till you die kind of thing. But this was Chuck E. Cheese. And I mean, you can save a lot of money if you're going to go like 3 times a week to Chuck E. Cheese. I mean,
yeah,
he's cute and all, but I mean, come on.
There were a couple of times my roommate at one point in time had a young daughter, and we made the mistake of taking young Amber to Chuck E. Cheese one day on a Saturday, and I did not think of it at all until I got there. And then I looked around the room and I read the room all of a sudden, and I'm like, family, single mom and a couple of kids, couple of moms with their kids on play dates, me and Brooks and his daughter. I'm like, we're never doing this again. He's like, why? I'm like, because Amber just looks like she brought her 2 gay dads to Chuck E. Cheese on a Saturday afternoon. Like, so, no.
Yeah, you have to know going in this is just for the kids.
Right.
Because they're having a great time. You're not. That's just what the time's going to be there.
My other thought was, what pedo did they get to wear the Mac costume this week? Which I know is a terrible thing to think of, but that's what you think of now.
Yeah. Are there adults who go to Chuck E. Cheese without kids?
I don't know, because they actually have pretty good pizza.
You think?
It's not bad. It's not the worst I've ever had. I think it's expensive for what it is.
I've only been for kid birthday parties.
Yeah,
it's the only time I've been there. I've never seen anyone just hanging out like a dude, having a beer and a Chuck E. Cheese.
That seems weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're the single dude and you're buying the tier membership to Chuck E. Cheese, there might be some
You're on the list
red
somewhere.
flags.
You know that.
So,
right.
There are like I said, the 3 tiers: $7.99 a month, $11.99 a month, or $29.99 a month.
What does that get you?
Okay, so the cheap one, $7.99 a month, gets you 40 games per visit, 20% off most food, drinks, and bonus games. $11.99 a month, 100 games per visit, 30% off food. And then the gold one gets you 250 games per minute or per visit and 50% off food. So that's $30 a month. Now, here's the thing. You can go every day, and you can bring up to 6 family members.
Well, I like the hustle. They're trying to get business.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it, but I don't know anyone who's gone to Chuck E. Cheese more than once a year, once every 5 years, something like that.
It's
Who
not
goes
exactly.
Once in your life
regularly?
is good.
Right.
Once in your life, and you've seen it.
It's not really a every week destination.
I mean, kids love it.
Kids love
It's
it.
what it's for, right? It's for kids' birthdays.
Definitely.
And stuff
We had
like
a great time. I've been to a couple birthday parties there. It's been really fun.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they get rid of the animatronic band, and now they have
I don't know.
I thought they got rid of the animatronic band, and they have now just like a screen, like a video screen or whatever. I don't know if
I
that's...
haven't been in so many years.
I know.
I don't know. Somebody could maybe text and let us know. Remember Showtime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron
Are they
said-
still around?
I don't know. I think Chuck E. Cheese is the last of that type of
Showbiz.
Showbiz.
Showbiz. That was it.
I think Chuck E. Cheese is the last bastion of that type of kids entertainment. Aaron said, I don't think you can go there without a kid. I think that's fact.
It should be a rule, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't get a winner. Nobody knew. Nobody knew the answer.
Wow.
Yeah.
But why would you?
But people knew all about my question about autoflower seed, marijuana seeds.
I saw
we
this.
got tons of calls or texts.
I saw this.
Apparently, autoflower seeds will harvest in 90 days, and they don't require light adjustment, because to get your marijuana plants to flower, you need 12 hours of sunlight, 12 hours of darkness, alternating.
Cracker said autoflower 70 days, you get flower and you can pick it.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like you should, when it comes to harvesting, you should just, go to the Blitz Nation masterclass.
Well, I believe me, I got a lot of links to videos in my Facebook Messenger from Blitz Nation. So yeah,
I feel like they're not gonna. There are certain things that I would trust Blitz Nation with. This is definitely one of them. If I need advice on how to harvest my pot plants, I know exactly where to go.
Of course, they all said that it's for growing indoors, though. The autoflower is about growing indoors. So
Doesn't your house stink to high heaven?
No, mine are outdoors.
No, if you're doing it, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
I should have delineated the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're growing indoors, does your house stink to high heaven?
That's why I won't grow indoors.
Yeah.
Because I know that's going to happen.
Do you have to have some kind of special, like, I don't know.
As soon as I walk out my back door onto my patio, I smell them outside. So I know if they're indoors, the whole house is going to smell like that. Now, some people probably enjoy it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's the fragrance you're going for when you have company over.
Right,
I think you should
that's my issue.
The vanilla scented candle may be the better option there.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
All right. Who wants to go first today?
I will.
What do
I've
you
got
got?
something. Did you see Mark Zuckerberg's post on Instagram yesterday? He commissioned an enormous statue of his wife, Priscilla Chan. He posted the caption, "Bringing back the Roman tradition of making sculptures of your wife." There's things like that, sort of, I'll show you if you guys have seen the picture. It's like that greenish blue material. So it's her whole body, and then she's got this like silver garment that supposedly looks like it's blowing in the wind or something. This thing is ugly AF. But I want to tell you, there are 4,100 comments, and most of them are like, you're the man. This is gorgeous, beautiful. Now, there were a few that were like, yikes, and you have way too much money, things like that.
Right.
But for the most part, I thought there would be an instant roasting on this thing. But no, people are loving it.
Well,
so,
I guess it's
don't
probably
know.
the message more than the statue.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
That must be it.
You guys,
That was a Roman tradition?
I guess people used to commemorate their dead wives or something. I don't know. She's alive and well, but...
Okay, I was like, did I not hear something? Because I didn't know
you guys are both married. Would you want statues of yourselves erected, or would you do it of your spouse?
I cannot imagine how much this thing was. I can think of a million other things I'd rather spend money on than a statue.
You wouldn't have a statue of Charlie right out there in the garden?
I mean, I really think this is horrific looking.
Yeah, no, it's
statue.
not attractive.
It's ugly. I don't want that anywhere near my presence at all. What about you?
I don't think I would.
No?
No.
I want a statue of me snatching my pot plant away to avoid being hit by space debris. Space junk.
Can't wait to see how.
That's intricate.
Yeah.
Here, I'll
Statue.
forward this, the person who did Zuckerberg's wife, I'll forward his info to you.
Can't wait to see the sculpt that goes with that.
I mean, I'm dying to know how much this thing costs. It's very well done. You can tell. I mean, it is a work of art. It's just not my cup of tea. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, I mean, it's obviously well done. This thing, I don't know. What does something like that cost you? $300,000? $500,000?
I was going to say, probably more money than the majority of us have laying around.
Yeah.
I've got something.
All right.
Back in the 50s and earlier, Westerns were a big deal. I think we can all safely say that Westerns have kind of lost their luster, lost their popularity. We would all probably agree with that, right? Every now and again, you get something like, I guess, Yellowstone, the 1812 version was considered a Western. Well, did you ever heard the term spaghetti Western?
Yeah.
Okay. Most people thought it was spaghetti Western because it was usually on in primetime TV, and you would watch it while eating spaghetti on a TV tray like people used to do back in the day, right? Not the case. Spaghetti Western refers to Western films made in Europe. They got the name because the movies were directed by Italian directors.
Okay.
So that's
All
where
right.
the term spaghetti Western came from, not TV trays. I was this many years old when I found out that.
Are John Wayne movies considered spaghetti westerns? I don't know.
Yeah, like the Clint Eastwood stuff was.
Yeah, this is the theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Absolutely a spaghetti western.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or maybe that's what I'm thinking of, not John Wayne. Clint Eastwood.
But I don't know. You might be right about some of his movies. I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah.
Not positive on that.
So in case you were wondering, that's where the spaghetti Western idea came from.
All right. A neighborhood in Syracuse, New York is the only place in the world that has a traffic light that features the green light above the red light.
Ooh, now don't throw a hitch in the system like that.
Well, it's because the Irish immigrants in that area
Hung it upside down.
No, they couldn't stand to see the British red light placed above the Irish green.
Oh.
The British red, not the British red light, but the British color red above the Irish green color. They couldn't stand that. Here's a good explanation.
It all started with the stone throwers. These were the sons and grandsons of Irish immigrants on Tip Hill. When the city first installed a traffic light at Tompkins and Milton, they couldn't stand seeing the British red placed over the Irish green. So about a dozen local boys started hurling rocks to break the red light. The city would come and fix the light, but by the next day it would be smashed again. The kids broke every new light again and again until the city gave up. They put a green light over the red, creating the only green over red stoplight in the world.
Wow.
Can you imagine that the city gave up? What if somebody was doing that up here at the corner of 5th and Grandview Avenue, and they kept throwing lights and throwing rocks and knocking out the lights? Would the city give up and just let it go? No.
Well, I mean, the city kind of lets kids steal Kias all. I feel like we're letting kids get away with a lot of stuff here.
True.
So, yes.
City lets people litter their scooters all over the place until somebody comes by and picks them up, too. So there's a lot of leeway in what the city will allow to happen. Evanescence on your morning blitz 647. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, I'm Lewis. And if you missed it earlier, we were discussing Rick's Mexican haze. If you don't know what Rick's Mexican haze is, those are the pot plants that he has been growing in his backyard. They have attained a height of, what, over 4 feet now?
Oh, they're 5 now. Yeah. They're doing very well.
So Rick was asking for advice because he's, on the verge of a harvest. And then Kelly had talked about, well, if you grow them inside, what about the smell? Your new fragrance in your house would be marijuana. And we talked about, ways to not have the smell in your house, which is why Rick is growing them outside. But apparently, there are ways to grow them indoor without said scent.
Yeah, the education continues from Blitz Nation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you necessarily want your house smelling like Sonic Temple, right?
Well, not when you have company who don't understand. But no, I didn't want to do that. But I guess they have these carbon filters. And I'm looking at pictures. This guy has a house. I say house. He says it's 10 by 10. His name's Brian. He says it's 10 by 10 feet. And I'm looking at all of these plants, and he said there is no smell in their house because they have this grow tent with a carbon filter to scrub the smell. And he says, you cannot smell a thing in my house. And that's from Brian Charles.
What the heck are you doing with all this? Are you supplying dispensaries?
Yeah.
This is wild. This is a wild amount of plants.
Oh, yeah, and I've seen videos and pictures like this of other people. And so that's his basement. Basically, it's going to take up, I don't know how big his basement is, but obviously you can see how much space it's going to take up. Well, he said, 10 by 10? So he's got a 10.
Can't smell anything. Are you sure you're not nose blind?
That's true.
Well, again, it's a carbon filter on it. That's the thing.
Well, Jerry says carbon filters keep indoor stank at a minimum.
Okay.
But Brian says he doesn't smell anything. I feel like you're smell blind at this point. Because, you can't smell when your own house stinks.
Right,
that's
true.
But you can smell when somebody else's house stinks.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mark said his brother has a pod that he grows his in that filters the air so it doesn't smell like weed. That's from Mark.
Okay, so carbon filter's the way to go if you're growing indoor.
And then we got another one. Somebody else texted a picture of a plant that they're growing outdoor. It's tall as their house, and it's it looks like it's 8 feet wide. Did you see it?
No, but I saw Shane's where he has a collection of bushes outside that, some people landscape with pine trees. At Shane's house, he's got a nice collection of, weed trees.
Oh, I didn't see Shane's.
Growing. It's impressive. He said 6 feet tall, 4 feet across. That's a pretty substantial.
Oh, there you go. Now that's about what mine are getting close to looking like.
Yeah, I don't know if Shane has Mexican haze, but he's got some nice looking plants. There's someone else that says they also have a solution for you. So,
There's mine, Kelly.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah.
Lewis.
Wow. Right there. You didn't plant them in the ground. You just left them right there in the planters, huh?
Oh no, I bought those. They came in, they came in smaller ones. I had to transplant them, but
Gotcha.
I got each one its own big pot.
Yeah, quite the green thumb happening over there at the thick castle.
And now I got. I went to Lowe's yesterday, and I got these metal round. They're like plates, and then they got wheels on them, so I can move them around on my patio because I want them to get that first morning sun, and then in the afternoon when the sun gets up. My big tree in my backyard kind of blocks the sun, so I can just kind of move them over real easy. I just roll them over.
How do you know that there's not some heathen in your neighborhood that's just waiting for them to reach the right point and they're going to come over and harvest them for you while you're sleeping? Do you have a security system?
You think I haven't thought about this?
I'm asking. Do you have a security system?
I would see them on camera.
Okay.
But
let me tell you the Ohio rules on home grow. If you're growing outside, it says, this says cultivation or growing of adult use cannabis only takes place within a secured closet, room, greenhouse, or other enclosed area in or on the grounds of the residence that prevents access by individuals less than 21 years of age and which is not visible by normal unaided vision from a public space.
Yeah, nobody can see mine.
Right. So you're doing it all right.
Cool.
Well, hopefully nobody comes in and, bogarts your plants.
Man, I have thought about that. I'm like, but nobody knows. I mean, I would think, and I have a couple friends. They'd be the first people I'd be
Me?
asking. No, anybody who knows. I'd be like, hey, man. Yeah, like you and a few other people know.
Went to bed last night with 6 feet of plant, woke up with a couple of empty potters.
Because I know I don't have to worry about Blitz Nation.
That's a good question. Is a person's weed considered sanctuary? Would you steal another person's weed if they're growing it?
Oh, somebody would.
Or is there like a code of ethics involved?
I don't know. Somebody would steal somebody else's weed. I don't know if you'd steal your friend's weed.
Isn't all's fair in weed, love, and war?
Yeah, and I suppose now that it's legal, if somebody did that, is that something I can call the police and file a report? I was, there was theft at my home. Can I get insurance for that?
I don't know.
Can I collect insurance on the value of the weed?
I don't know. I don't know. It's such a new thing. I don't know how that would work. I mean, because used to be if you were growing weed, it was kind of like if you were pirating cable and your cable went out, you couldn't very well call the cable company and go, look, I've been stealing your service for like 6 months now. It's out. Can you come over and do something about that? Like, I don't know that you could, but now that things have changed, maybe that's a possibility.
I mean, it belongs to me. It's in my possession, and I'm legally allowed to have it, so that's theft. I should be able to, if somebody were to do that, I should be able to collect insurance for the value of that marijuana. Right? I mean, come on.
You would think. I don't know.
And now, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Yesterday, Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther said the data that was posted by hackers on the dark web was not usable because it was encrypted or corrupted. Now, we know there's a big data breach in the city of Columbus. So he said, don't worry about it. Everything's encrypted or corrupted. Now, I guess 10 TV and NBC4 did reports with this same cybersecurity expert who told reporters, well, that's not true. He said, I went to the dark web myself to take a look, and I downloaded databases from the prosecutor's office and from City Hall. He said the personal data of over 400,000 private citizens in Central Ohio is included. Well, or outside of that. So here, let me tell you not what info, but if you ever swiped your driver's license at City Hall in the last 10 years, or if you've dealt with the Columbus City Attorney's prosecuting office in any way as a victim, a suspect, or if you were the recipient of a subpoena, your data may be out there. And that includes social security numbers and addresses. So it is being advised you check your credit, get credit monitoring, etc. So if this data hack doesn't impact you, then I have one that does.
Great.
About 4 months ago, a hacking group called USDOD stole the personal records of 2.9 billion people from the data broker National Public Data. Now, National Public Data they're the company that employers, private investigators, staffing agencies all go to when they're doing background checks. They have information on everybody, or they can get it. So the hackers got 2.9 billion records they hacked from National Public Data. And then they went to this hacker forum and offered to sell this enormous amount of data for $3.5 million. Apparently no takers, because now they're saying it's all been dumped on the dark web for free. The stolen records include full names, addresses, dates of birth, social security numbers, and phone numbers of people in the United States, in Canada, and the United Kingdom. Again, 2.9 billion records stolen.
So with that data, I mean, I can change all my passwords, it doesn't matter what I do. They've got that. I have to move to get the address changed, Yeah,
it's like they have all the information that they could use to just change everything themselves.
Right. Steal my
despite
identity.
What you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. And a weirder thing to me is that National Public Data hasn't formally notified anyone. This happened in April. And I guess if you email them, they'll say, yeah, we're aware of the claims and we're looking into it. But that's it. So it's wild. I'm guessing all our information's out there.
It just is.
Yeah. Tickets for 2 more Dave Chappelle shows in Yellow Springs going on sale today at noon on Ticketmaster if you've not been able to get out there and see it. Shows are August 23rd and 24th there at the Pavilion. So just an FYI, if you've always wanted to see Dave Chappelle, those tickets go on sale today at noon.
7:08 on your Morning Blitz with 3 days grace. Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, I'm Lewis. And let's be honest, the majority of the time you hear the news, it doesn't always put a smile on your face, right?
No.
Everything these days is depressing. Whether it's politics, your personal info being thrown all over the dark web, road closures. So sometimes it's good just to take a second, forget about life for a minute, and laugh.
Yeah, you gotta step back and just do something stupid, it's a hot dog eating contest.
And I know what you're thinking, but you guys aren't funny. No worries. We're not going to make you laugh. There are people that can do that for us.
So, they have the annual Nathan's hot dog eating contest every 4th of July. And of course, we know Joey Chestnut was banned from the contest this year. So I didn't even bother to watch because you're not showing me the best eater in the world.
Correct.
And he would have won. I guarantee it, because the guy that won did not do as well as Joey would have done and has done.
Didn't he only do like a third of the hot dogs that Chestnut?
I think it was like 50-some. Joey's had 70
I was going to say. Okay, yeah.
Stuff like that. So, his longtime rival was Kobayashi. Kobayashi had beaten him before in the hot dog eating contest. So they announced they're going to do this thing on Labor Day. Just the two of them going to battle each other. So it's Chestnut versus Kobayashi, 3 p.m. live from the Luxor in Las Vegas, the HyperX Arena. Did you hear what they called it? Unfinished beef. But these are hot dogs. Is there beef in a hot dog?
There are beef hot dogs.
There are all beef, because I buy Angus hot dogs when I get hot dogs. But I figured...
Oh, is that what people with chandeliers do?
Oh, dear gosh.
A simple ballpark Frank won't do.
It is ballpark.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It's ballpark Angus Frank.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Anyway, so they put out a trailer for this thing, man. This is the most overhyped, hilarious thing. Listen to this.
To be the greatest, it takes hunger. You understand. On September 2nd, watch the greatest competitive eaters go head-to-head for the first time in 15 years. In a rematch where winner takes all. Chestnut versus Kobayashi, Unfinished Beef. Live only on Netflix.
Oh, that is unbelievable. I'm going to watch.
I'm sure you're not the only one. There are a lot of people that probably like a good hot dog eating competition.
Well, when you give me the best two in the world, going head-to-head, that's pretty good.
If you can't throw down with hot dogs, what can you throw down with?
I mean, watching two people jam hot dogs down their throat makes me want to hork. I can't imagine anything that I would want to do less than watch that.
Wait, hold on. It makes you want to what?
Hork.
Hork?
Throw up.
Oh, that's a new one. I had not heard hork before.
Interesting question. I love it. Interesting question. If you had to competitively eat a food, what would be your food of choice that you would competitively eat?
I mean, I feel like it's going to be pie of some kind.
Ooh,
like,
you go pie?
If I'm going traditional, like, eating contest, I probably go pie, but I'm not going to win, so I'm just going to sit there and enjoy it while everybody else is being crazy.
Kelly Quinn is the slowest competitor eater we've ever seen on the stage. Pie.
What about you?
I feel like pie might be easy because it's not going to be super thick.
Yeah.
I'd go pizza, I think.
Oh, pizza. Okay. That's
Although I say that now,
That's heavy.
like, college me would throw down a large pizza with no problem. Me now, if I get through 2.5 pieces, that's probably a good day.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I could eat a large pizza right now.
So I'd have
I wouldn't.
There would be. You're going to be surprised when I say this. There might need to be a training period involved.
Oh, here we go again.
For me to get to that stage, because I would have to figure out a way to,
Well, I mean, these guys train. It's crazy what they do to train.
Right.
The thing you have to do is know you're not going to win. You pay a little entry fee and enjoy yourself some pizza.
Then you don't.
You got to have that attitude.
That way you don't hork.
This is true.
See,
Horking is bad.
A winner's attitude really it doesn't serve anybody in this.
That's true.
You know,
That's
you're just
true.
going to be sick.
Just there for the spirit of the game.
You're going to go. You're going to eat a bunch of stuff and be sick. This way, you just go, pay the entry fee.
Hey,
You're getting a dinner for what? $10 entry fee.
you've been out there for 2 minutes and ate one piece. Yeah, but I'm not going to throw up later. So that's kind of a
You're
win.
not going to hork.
I'm not going to hork later. 6 a.m. on the Morning Blitz. It's 7:24. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. I'm Lewis. We've all heard stories about the Florida man, right?
Yes.
In Florida, they perpetrate the dumbest of crimes, and it seems like they only come from Florida, right? You would think, maybe.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
It could be rivaled by Ohio, maybe. But yes, a lot of Florida stuff.
Do you think Blitz Nation is smart enough to distinguish whether or not one of said ridiculously stupid crimes comes from the fine state of Florida, or perhaps it originates from someplace else? We trust Blitz Nation with our weed. Do we trust Blitz Nation to tell us where our criminals come from?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
Vic?
find out.
You?
Do I usually
Do you
know?
trust Blitz Nation and know where a
I trust Blitz Nation with everything.
Okay. So, body camera footage was released Thursday showing a dude jump off a bridge and into a river in an attempt to avoid being arrested. Okay? So the crime was already committed. He's running from the law. Officers spotted the robbery suspect that they were searching for walking along a bridge at around 7 a.m. When officers told suspect 32-year-old Richard Martinovics he was being detained, he jumped the guardrail and plunged into the river below.
On the bridge, Main Street. Hello, sir. How are you? Mind if we holler at you for a few minutes? Where are you coming from? Okay. Can you have a seat for me?
Have a seat? Am I being detained?
Have a seat. Yes, you're being detained. Have a seat. Yep, he's in the water. This is going to be him on the bridge.
It was so nonchalant. Oh, I'm being detained? Okay. And he just jumped right off the bridge into the river. It's just like, okay.
The police department called it into their Marine unit to locate and apprehend him in the water. Now, there are rivers, and pick your state. There's probably a river floating around someplace.
Yes.
But is there a Marine unit?
But is there a Marine unit? So that's the question, Blitz Nation. Is this a Florida man, or is it some other city or state that is being represented by the guy who jumped off a bridge to avoid being arrested?
Wait, Marine unit.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Did
Yeah.
you say, were those your words you said?
Marine is in boat, not Marine is in Semper Fi.
Right. Yeah, because like Alum Creek's got a,
That's what I'm
be in our
saying.
boat, and a police officer that'll pull you over. And
That's what I'm saying. This isn't necessarily distinguished,
yeah.
So is it Florida man, or is it not a Florida man? That is the question. We'll throw it out there to Blitz Nation and test your knowledge of stupid criminals. I mean, again, this guy did it with more flair. I always like the stupid criminals that go rob a bank, but they leave their driver's license behind or their information.
Oh, I know.
So thanks. We'll get back to you later on that one.
Yeah. Again,
All right.
they're probably, if they were really, really smart people, they probably wouldn't be criminals. Not at this level, anyway, where you're willing to jump off a bridge.
You're not getting me.
On the bridge, Main Street. Copy. Hello, sir. How are you? Mind if we holler at you for a few minutes? Where are you coming from?
Coming up and run away.
Okay. Can you have a seat for me?
Have a seat? Am I being detained?
Have a seat. Yes, you're being detained. Have a seat. Yep, he's in the water. This is going to be him on the bridge.
Yeah. You do what you can to avoid being arrested at 7:39 on the Morning Blitz with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. How well does Blitz Nation know their Florida man? Is this guy from Florida or someplace else? He was being detained for a robbery, decided that he was going to jump off the bridge to avoid the police, which prompted them to call in their Marine unit to fish him out of the water so that he could face proper charges. So we asked the question to Blitz Nation, is this a Florida man or someplace else? Trashman Dave says, not a Florida man. In Florida, you'd risk being a gator's lunch if you jump in a river. Not that this dude's smart enough to think about that, which prompts JD to say there's a reason they call the smart ones masterminds and the stupid ones criminals.
Pam said, stupid's everywhere, but that sounds like Florida man.
Mike says, sounds like Florida. Doug says, Florida all the way. And yeah, that dude is from Florida.
Richard Martinovix.
Only in Florida will you jump off a bridge.
You know, just in May, we had a guy jump off the Hamilton Road Bridge into Big Walnut Creek.
That's right.
To avoid the police.
That's right.
Okay. So the method is not necessarily, held straight to Florida. But, this guy in this case was Florida, which somebody said Florida and Ohio fighting for the last place. Tabitha doesn't have to compete for last place. She picked up on the fact that she needed to be caller 16 when she heard Rage Against the Machine. She was, and she scores tickets to check out Green Day. Nice little haul there.
Yeah, Tabby from Springfield. She was in Springfield this morning.
Congratulations. So, what happens if you are crying over your ex? A little too much mourning where the death of your ex is concerned. Is that going to cause some issue with your current situation that you might be in?
Yeah, so I came across this TikTok video. This guy's girlfriend who has been broke up with her ex for 3 years, and he says some things about, abuse in here and how he cheated on her and stuff, and she's bawling because her ex from 3 years ago died, and her current boyfriend is not happy about it. And here's the audio.
So, babe, you really out here crying over your ex, though?
Yes, why is you doing this?
He's gone. He died. Why is you out here crying over your ex? We in a whole relationship, though. Why is you out here crying over your ex? Seriously.
I need closure.
What you mean you need closure? This dude cheated on you and you out here crying? We've been together for 3 years. You out here crying over your ex because he died. Come here, man. Listen here. I can't believe that you're crying over this dude, bro. I would never listen. I would never cry over my ex.
I feel like you're disrespecting me.
How am I disrespecting you? You out here crying over this dude.
I feel like you need to give me space so I
give
can
you space.
Yeah, so I can just have a moment. I need a moment.
What you mean? I can't listen. You disrespecting me though. Come on, you in a whole relationship and you crying over your ex because he's dead and gone. I can't believe you out here. I hope you don't think you're going to the funeral either. Seriously. What you mean? Yes. No, you can't go to the funeral. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious.
Why,
I'm serious.
So wrong. Why I can't go to the funeral?
This dude did you so wrong, man. I came in your life. I treat you good. We've been together for 3 years, and you crying over your ex that you broke up with 3 years ago.
Right, but he's gone. You shouldn't be mad about him.
Jeez.
I mean,
it's
definitely
weird.
Take it to TikTok. That's the first thing you should do is
of
film
course.
it and take it to the internet.
Yeah, that's how we solve the majority of the world's problems.
I want to thank them for that.
He's a little harsh.
I mean, it is kind of weird.
You think she's overreacting?
Well, I don't think he's wrong for being upset.
Okay.
I don't know their history. I don't know too many people who are really close friends with an ex. Do you? I mean, do you guys know really people who are good friends with their exes?
I mean,
depends
friendly.
on the situation.
Yeah.
Friendly, yeah, but I mean, are they hanging out?
If you've ever had an ex die, it is a very unsettling thing, no matter what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is an unsettling situation to deal with, even if you've way moved on and are already married. It is weird.
It very much is. I have had an ex die.
Same.
So
it's a weird thing.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry, but I felt some kind of way. Like I felt like it was otherworldly feeling. Like how, first of all, because you think this person's too young to die, and these sound like young people on TikTok.
They look like they were mid-20s.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's a weird thing to think somebody that you dated or whatever. And this was way after I'd been married, and I talked to my husband about it. I'm like, do you, whatever. I didn't go to the funeral or anything like that, but it was just odd. It was an odd thing.
Obviously, she's not going to the funeral either.
Right.
If he's got anything to say about it.
I had an ex when I moved back to Ohio, and I had talked to her a couple of times prior to that, but she had a history of the wrong kind of relationship, we'll just say. And when I moved back to Ohio, I was like, oh, I should look her up just to say hi. And again, I was already in a relationship, so it wasn't trying to rekindle anything, but I just wanted to, say hi, because I'd been back to Ohio for the first time in a while. And I found out she had passed away. I got back to Ohio in April. She had passed away in January.
It's unsettling.
And it was. And I stared at the social media picture for a while, because she left behind a young boy at the time. And it's just, you share your time with someone, and you can't get that time back. So even if it doesn't work out, you have lost a piece of you in whatever relationship you leave behind, whether you realize it or not. So I can see where someone would be upset over this. But again, at the same time, you're not going to get closure trying to fight a ghost.
Right. And I've heard, I've heard girls say such and such will always have a place in my heart kind of thing. So maybe that's where that comes from. I don't think... so I read comments, under the video, and there were people on both sides of this, but some of the ones that were taking her side, were saying, that kind of like what you were saying, Kelly, it's going to have an impact on you. It's going to affect you. And he was wrong for putting her on TikTok, as you said. But then there were other people who said he had a right to feel insecure and that he's not jealous of the guys, because people are like, well, he's dead, man. Why? How can you be jealous of a guy who's dead? He's not jealous of a guy who's dead. He's hurt because she's so upset that her ex from 3 years ago, who abused her and cheated on her, died. And he doesn't understand that, and he feels disrespected by that.
Well, the problem is the obvious abuse of putting your current girlfriend who's upset, filming her and berating her, and putting it on TikTok. That's abusive.
That's disrespectful.
That's true.
Too.
We'll get Blitz Nation's vibe on this after Shinedown.
I can't believe, listen, you disrespecting me, though. Like, come on, you in a whole relationship, and you crying over your ex because he's dead and gone. Like, I can't believe you out here. I hope you don't think you're going to the funeral either. Like, seriously. What you mean, yes? No, you can't go to the funeral. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious.
Why,
I'm serious.
What's so wrong? Like, why I can't go to the funeral?
Yeah, see, he's having a great time, and this is an abusive situation. He's talking about her ex being abusive. He's being abusive. She seems to be attracted to the same kind of guy.
Stick Kelly and Lewis. This girl's ex died. She's feeling a certain way about it. Her new boyfriend of 3 years not too happy because he cheated on her and was not the nicest person to her. He can't figure out why she's mourning. Blaine says, check her phone. I bet she's in contact with that ex. Someone else asked me why I would want to connect with my ex if I didn't have feelings. When I moved back to town, I'd been gone for a while. I connected with a lot of people, and her and I did not end on bad terms. It wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. Not everything, goes south, and there's no, there was never a hidden longing.
Right.
For anything. It was just, oh, wow, I haven't seen you in a while.
All right, let's go to the phone. We got Trucker Tim on the phone. Hey, Tim, what's going on this morning, man?
Hey, so first thing I want to say is, we're looking at this through a small window. We don't know anything outside of this stupid video.
Right.
But it's abusive. I mean, I'm 100% with Kelly on this. It's totally abusive. The dude's got to have some sort of insecurity problem. But I just went through this. Literally, basically the same exact thing. The guy that my wife dated, right before me just died, like, 3 weeks ago. And, like, me and my wife on the 23rd of this month will be celebrating 10 years of marriage. So, like, I'm very secure in our relationship, and I was like, oh, that's sad. And then I stepped away from it. I was like, you do what you got to do. I've got my shoulder for you to cry on.
Wow.
But, like, I don't want nothing to do with this at the same time.
Right.
I gotcha. So you're like, if you need to go to the funeral, go ahead. You know,
Yeah.
I'm here, but go ahead.
That's my thing. And it might just be my obsession with time, but all the money in the world, you could win $435 million in the lottery and not buy back a second of time. And if you've given your time to someone, whether it goes good or bad, you gave up a piece of you for however long that lasted. So it's a little bit, there's always going to be that form of connection there.
100%.
I think, Tim, too, it's weird on both sides for you and your wife, because it's like it's an odd thing to have another person enter the marriage in any type of way emotionally. And because the person died and then there's some emotion over it, it's weird for both sides. Even if there's no feelings left for that person, it's kind of an odd thing to navigate. So I sort of understand this kid on TikTok's feelings about it. The way it's handled is like, that
terrible.
Is wild.
Yeah.
Totally. You have every right to feel like, this guy's a piece of trash, in my opinion. But she still has those good memories or whatever that she had. And, like, that's the whole thing was I was just like, you do you. Like,
yeah.
I'm totally secure in our relationship.
Hey, thanks so much for the call, Tim. You have a great day, brother.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Right. You too. Mindy said that it's almost like a form of survivor's guilt because she's the one who took on the abuse. Like, I hope that makes sense. But, yeah, I can see that where,
Dave said, my current wife cried when my ex passed away, but not me. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's different for sure. I kind of agree with what Danny said, and he agreed. I'm with Kelly on this. Neither are right or wrong, but he certainly shouldn't have posted the video. That's the thing. Like, I feel like you're talking about, and someone else, I believe, said she should dump his ass right now just based on the fact that he filmed her in that moment, which I agree with, too. I don't know that I would post that publicly. You know what I mean? If you're upset about somebody dying, that's not the thing you post for clickbait.
Yeah, that was abusive. What he did, what her boyfriend did, was abusive. Emotionally abusive.
And I think you're all attached to different people. I mean, sometimes you find out your favorite classically trained actress passed away and you log onto the hub to watch some of those old videos just to keep the memory alive.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
London Township police officer who fatally shot a pregnant woman last year in the parking lot of a Kroger is now in custody. Officer Connor Grubb turned himself in yesterday following the announcement of his grand jury indictment on 4 murder counts and other charges. Grubb shot 21-year-old Takaya Young while she was in her car outside Kroger on Sunbury Road last August after an employee accused her of stealing alcohol. An arraignment hearing for Grubb is scheduled for today. His attorney says he will be pleading not guilty. J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are among those named in a lawsuit filed by Olympic gold medalist Iman Khalif, accusing the two, among others, of acts of aggravated cyber harassment. Khalif's attorney has confirmed the names are mentioned in the complaint. Now, the lawsuit was filed against X and not a specific person because they want to give the prosecution, and this is a criminal complaint, a prosecution all the latitude to be able to investigate anybody who had anything to say about her on X, which is really interesting. Now, the complaint comes after a whole lot of people, including J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk, sort of were talking about saying that Khalif was transgender after the whole boxing thing that happened during the Olympics when Angela Carini from Italy tapped out because she said she had never felt a punch like that before and left the match after 46 seconds. So everybody, I guess a lot of people started saying she's transgender and they shouldn't have allowed her to be in the match at all. And although Khalif was disqualified by the International Boxing Association in 2023 for failing a gender eligibility test, the IOC did allow her to compete. She has always identified as a woman. She is intersex, apparently has the XY chromosome, but has female parts. And she's always competed as a woman her entire competitive life. So the Olympics said, absolutely, you qualify. Anyway, so she is suing for cyber bullying and cyber harassment for people saying things about her that are not true.
Yeah, the story I got here from Variety said that Elon and JK were named in a criminal complaint.
Yes, it's a criminal complaint.
Acts of aggravated cyber harassment. So, I mean, they want like criminal charges brought against them is what I'm gathering from that. I mean,
it is a criminal complaint against X.
Yeah,
but
it's not a civil suit.
Right.
Yeah, so not like she's going after money here.
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
She can ask for damages. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's part of a criminal complaint.
But so, I mean, I'm thinking about the precedent here. If you're telling me that you can sue if anybody says anything hateful about you on social media. Is that what we're talking about?
This is saying something untrue about somebody.
Okay.
Saying that she's transgender.
Okay.
So, like, I can't go online and say things like that to you. I mean, you're not allowed to do that, are you?
No, well, I mean, that's, slander or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But we see lying online all the time. And I just think, this one's going to have, big public appeal and everybody's going to see it. And I just feel like we're going to see a lot more lawsuits down the road because there's a lot of hateful lies spread on social media every day, so it's going to be quite a precedent.
Do you guys know what Waymo is? It's
the auto cars?
Yeah. And they're only available right now in San Francisco and Phoenix. They sort of are trying to expand into more markets, but it was developed by Google, and it's this driverless ride-hailing service, and it's pretty popular in San Francisco. There's a parking lot full of Waymo cars right outside some condo buildings in San Francisco, and for the last 2 weeks, I guess the vehicles start honking at each other out of the blue, and it happens during the day, in the middle of the night. One of the residents says it has been absolutely insane how many times they've been woken up in the middle of the night over this, and it's starting to take a toll on people who live in the buildings because they're not getting good night's sleeps because of these Waymo cars.
Yeah, here's some neighbors. And cars.
So I was like, where's that coming from? I looked down, and I was like, I think it's coming from the Waymo cars. Then it happened again, and again, and I started thinking, well, this is an issue.
Over the past 2 weeks, I've been woken up more times overnight than I have combined over 20 years. I could not be more cranky today after these past 2 weeks. It affects the way you feel.
Jeez. So it's like the cars are arguing with each other in a parking lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess a lot of the residents contacted Waymo, and the company says, yeah, we're aware of it. We're working on a fix. So we'll see. That's something you don't expect these driverless cars to be honking at each other for no reason.
No.
All right, those are your three things.
Sick Puppies on the Morning Blitz, 8-11 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, and Lewis. And they do field trips a little different down there in Tennessee.
Well, they don't now. They canceled their field trips due to low test scores in this Tennessee school district. And here is one mom speaking out about the decision.
I feel like they learn more from the field trips because they're having fun. It's from Warner Speakman. Fayette County Public Schools field trips canceled. Due to low test scores, Dr. Hamlet has canceled all field trips. They don't have teachers to teach the kids. So how are they going to have higher test scores when half of them, they went a whole year last year, like without a math teacher?
What?
Well, it does make it kind of hard to learn.
Yeah. I don't know how accurate that is, but that was just the clip we got from that mom. And I'm like,
what are we worried about field trips then for? Let's get you a math teacher. That's first order of business.
Right. And that's what she's saying. How are they going to have good test scores? They don't even have teachers.
People used to, do you remember like how big of a deal it was if at the field trip and not getting a permission slip signed, and then you had to stay behind while your whole elementary class got to go somewhere cool?
I think you always had to have a certain grade point to go on the field trip.
That's right.
In elementary?
You couldn't be acting up if you couldn't be acting up or getting in trouble or else you weren't allowed to go. You had to stay behind with a lunch lady
and do
or something.
And do schoolwork.
Yeah.
Tell you what, my high school, elementary, and middle school career were spent on being eligible enough to play football and go on field trips.
What was it? You had to have a 2.0 to play sports, I think?
Yep.
Or was it a 2.5?
Might even been lower than that at the time.
I always go back to Charles Barkley. He said, man, if you can score 10 points and get 10 rebounds a night, you don't have to go to class. That's what Charles Barkley always said.
You know, Sir Charles was a wise man.
I mean, seriously.
If he gets up, we'll all get up. It'll be anarchy.
Right.
Facts.
And now you can't go to the damn field trip.
Nope. Test scores are low. Field trips canceled. Danzig with his Mother's Day anthem on the Morning Blitz. 8:23. It's that Kelly and Lewis. So I said it again. I want to punch myself in the face. I got to stop saying the word so. Companies have ways of doing things. Not everyone does it the way you like. My old boss and I had an agreement. We hated the phrase that companies send out. We wish them well in their future endeavors. No, you don't. If you truly wish me well, you wouldn't be taking my paycheck away from me from some form or another. So stop with the we wish you well. That's a lie. Well, now companies have become so passive aggressive that 38% of them lay people off instead of firing them because they want to avoid hurting the employees' feelings.
Oh, I feel so much better knowing I wasn't fired.
I wasn't fired.
I'm telling you, that is absolutely... I've gotten laid off before.
Yeah.
I got laid off here a long time ago and rehired, thank God, a couple months later.
Same.
But I would have way rather been told that I was getting laid off for, budget cutting or whatever, rather than you're fired. That, to me, implies that I've done something wrong, and it also prevents me from getting unemployment benefits if I have done something wrong to be fired.
80% of bosses say their company has laid someone off in the past year that they could have fired for cause. Sometimes out of kindness, sometimes to avoid feelings, but the number one reason they do it is to avoid a office mutiny. If you're the person that's liked in the office.
I mean, I'd really like to be able to file unemployment, so please lay me off, I mean, I think that's a kindness if you're laying an employee off rather than firing, especially if they deserve to be fired.
Company morale was the first reason they do it. Wrongful termination lawsuits was second. To help the person out with a severance package was third. And hurting their feelings.
I didn't know about the unemployment because I got fired before and was still able to collect unemployment.
If you're fired for cause, for wrongdoing, they can deny your unemployment.
Yeah, they can.
Absolutely.
But they don't necessarily do
Well,
that.
the company can fight it. The company can fight your unemployment filing.
But they might not. They fired you we're going to let them be able to eat.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let them collect unemployment.
Cause being, hey, we've watched you on the video camera stealing toilet paper and, paper towel from the bathroom.
Right.
Your cause is theft. But if it's a budgetary reason, hey, we're terminating your position, it's not necessarily anything you did wrong. I just hate we wish you well in your future endeavors.
Also, if you're going for another job, too, I'd rather say I was laid off than fired.
Yes, that looks better on the resume.
Yeah, I feel like
I was a budget cut.
It helps you out in life if your company's willing to lay you off rather than fire you.
They downsized. I did nothing wrong.
So you like you're okay with this?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Unless you've done something egregiously wrong, it would be a very large kindness to just lay the person off.
Well, the one you mentioned that I thought that's really cool of a company if they do that so that allows you to collect your severance because they don't have to give you severance if they fire you. So that's really cool of any company that would do that.
A lot of the severances have that you won't sue the company in the writing, so make sure you're
it's like that. It's an NDA. You got to sign an NDA if you want severance pay kind of thing.
Yeah. You won't come after us for any other, thing in the future or whatnot, but it's just A lot of that going around these days, especially with the economy and the state of the world and everything else. So.
Yeah, I'm all about leaving as many doors open as possible. I'm not looking to, burn any bridges. I went there to be just, as above board and kind and everything that things can be if you're parting ways with a company. That's how I want to leave it, 100%. I have to leave a door open because I don't want to be losing my job.
Sure. Right.
So if you ever can think about maybe wanting to rehire, I hope my name is at the top of the list.
But Kelly, you were a fantastic employee. I think you're fantastic, but corporate gave me no choice. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, budget cut. Even lie to me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was
soothe my ego in that way.
Josh said his old boss would just cut hours more and more and more until the person had to quit, so they couldn't file for unemployment.
Oh,
see, that's
that's
lame, man.
Really a bummer.
That is so lame.
Do you guys believe the whole "we wish you well in your future endeavors" phrase?
I do.
I think
really? I think companies don't have. I mean, I don't know anybody who's that. I mean, I guess in certain situations where you really part in just a really awful way, I don't know any company that wishes you poorly.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it is truly a budget cut, if it is a layoff, downsizing, whatever. Yeah, I don't think they wish you ill will.
I think for me, when I see one of those, I'm like, oh, what happened in that meeting? I want more info. I know you wish them well, but what happened in that firing meeting?
Right. And I think in some cases, Lewis, they don't mean it. I think there are definitely times when they it's just we have to, for appearance purposes, for good optics.
But I think if you also know your company and you're going to lay people off eventually, that's so much longer before it actually happens. Because you probably look at that budget. When you do your budget the year before in October, you're probably like, all right, here's our budget for next year. We're probably going to have to lose some people in November.
I never want to be in a position where I know that I'm going to have to lay someone off in 8 months. Oh, that must feel terrible.
You know what I mean? If you're running your books right, where, unless you're expecting some financial windfall that's going to change everything, but reality, that usually doesn't happen. So you just kind of know.
Have you guys ever been in a position where you've had to fire someone?
Yes.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Is it awful?
One time I fired someone. Everybody knew it was going to happen, and they all sat in the office on the opposite side of mine so they could try to hear what was going on. And he cried, and I was that one I wanted to fire. I could not wait.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was excited about that. The other one I had to carry, knowing that I didn't have to fire her, but I was not allowed. I was told that I was not allowed to hire her, and carrying that around for 2 months, knowing and not being able to say anything, eats at your gut and your soul every day. Especially when you like the person.
Doug said, oh no, you can get fired for stealing toilet paper?
They do frown upon theft, I'm told. Metallica on the Morning Blitz. It is 8:40 with Thick, Rick, Kelly Quinn, and Lewis. Metallica was the song you were listening for tickets to see In This Moment. And congratulations.
Steve Scott from Frazeysburg was caller 25, so he's got tickets to see that show, part of the Blitzmas concert series.
In This Moment, of course, part of the Blitzmas concert series. Looking forward to that one. And it's a good one so far. Who else? We've announced Daughtry already, In This Moment, so shaping up to be a pretty good just before holiday season.
Yeah, and tickets for this one go on sale Friday morning. 10 a.m., AXS.com. The show Saturday, November 30th at Kimba Live.
Absolutely. Let's get into some group therapy brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. Low testosterone, man, causes a lot of problems in the relationship. I was feeling sluggish, tired all the time, worked out, didn't feel like I was getting anywhere, got my T checked and had it treated. Game changer. Don't waste money on other stuff that's out there. Go let the real people take a look at it and fix what's wrong with you. Don't wait. You can't get that time back. Give them a call today, 800-900-9654 or tristatemenshealth.com. They've got 6 locations, including 2 here in Columbus, Hilliard, and Westerville. All right. What do you got there, Thick?
All right. This one's a little different. It's not about a couple. It's just Josh has a question about dating in general, and when you spring certain information on somebody. He says, what is the time frame in dating a new person where you need to reveal your kinks before it's unfair to you both? It says, let's say you appreciate feet or role-playing or furry culture or 50 Shades of Grey style fun. You probably don't drop that on the first date. But if you wait too long, I feel like you might be wasting each other's time if they aren't into it. Like Josh says, I enjoy feet. That's Josh and Heath. So how long you go on before you say, hey, by the way, I'm really into this kind of stuff, and I wanted to let you know before we move any further. I guess maybe if they're not into it, that's a deal breaker for Josh. If he can't, play with their feet.
Why didn't you put that in your profile then, Josh? You could have handled that on the dating app.
Yeah, I kind of feel
now
like...
you're in a situation. We can't bail you out of this one, buddy.
I kind of felt like you need to be a little early on with this one. You don't want that to come up down the road after,
Definitely not after a long time.
That's what I mean. If you're 6-7 months in and you start thinking, oh, man, this might be more serious than I thought it was going to be originally, you don't want that surprise happening.
Yeah, especially if it's going to be a deal breaker.
Right.
I mean...
Last thing you want to do is come home early from a long business trip, go into the bedroom, see the missus in bed, and a couple of old people that jump out of your bathroom because that's what they're into. You got to be upfront about that.
Or you come home and you find your significant other in the bed waiting on you, dressed as a giant rabbit.
Equally alarming.
So how long? I mean, again, yeah. Kelly, you're probably right. You might want to put that on your dating profile because that way you're just going to get dates with people who are like-minded.
Yeah,
that makes the most sense. But maybe just met her at a bar. I don't know. But I mean,
well, you got a couple drinks in you. Just I guess bring it up.
Let it out.
You want to go out? Okay, but before we go on this first date, here's what I'm into.
This might be the Grey Goose talking, but I don't know. I don't think I want... I don't know.
What? Say it.
I don't know if it would... I mean, it would have to be a deal breaker. Like, if someone were in the feet and you're not in the feet, like, that's going to be...
Or if you're not into letting them be into your feet.
Correct. At some point in time, that's going to come up down the road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My wife does not want me sucking on her toes. Absolutely no way.
TMI.
Right?
I'm trying to be real here.
Got this visual now that, just won't, I can't.
I mean, because something happened, and then she had to put an end to it. That's what I don't want to know.
Exactly. There was a, what the hell are you doing moment. And he probably went, what?
But the thing is, you didn't have to discuss that before. It just sort of the mistake was made, and then you adjusted.
I never said there was
course.
Absolutely.
I never said. I just said that she would not want that. That's all I said.
Okay. What do you think?
Maybe she let me know that she wasn't into that when we got together early on.
If you're so into feet, dude, that this is going to be a deal breaker, bring it up early. Right. All right. Why are you wasting your time?
Exactly.
I think that's the simple explanation. If you're so into feet that you cannot be with somebody who's not like that, bring it up on the first date, buddy.
Absolutely. What does Blitz Nation say? It's the Morning Blitz, 850, Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, Lewis, little group therapy this morning from Josh and Heath. Wants to know, how early is too early to let someone know exactly what your kinks are?
Speaking of group therapy, if you're into the group thing, you probably need to do that immediately.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's how most people meet, though. You kind of have to meet in that environment if you're going to have a relationship with somebody in that environment.
Yeah, you got to be upfront about the group play idea.
But yeah, I don't know. If you're into furry culture, how long? If you're into role playing, if you're like Josh and you're into feet.
Ugh.
It's funny you said that.
Feet are so gross. They're so
I'm
gross.
with you.
Trashman Dave said, this section of Blitz Nation says WTF is up with the feet thing. There are two types of feet. Barely tolerable and effing nasty. For the life of me, I'll never understand.
Yeah. I don't like my own feet, so I don't necessarily want to touch yours or need you to touch mine. You walk on them all day. There's nothing. You want a foot massage? You better do that yourself.
Oh my gosh. Now, my wife loves a foot massage.
Or you put some thick ass socks on.
I guess here's the thing. I don't want to see people's feet like out in the wild, like in the flip flops and the open toed sandals. I don't need that. I don't care how manicured you are. It just, for some reason, it kind of makes me think like, oh, like you seem half dressed. I don't like to see people's toes wiggling out in the wild.
All right.
Keep those bad boys covered up.
Put some clothes on.
Yeah.
Nikki Newland says he might be surprised by her kinks, but yes, you have to talk about it sooner rather than later once you know there's some kind of chemistry there. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I mean, I don't know if there's an exact number of days or number of dates, but I guess I'd say if you're at a point of getting intimate, if you've reached a point where you're going to become physical,
Yeah, that shouldn't be a surprise. Let me tell you that. Just should not be a surprise.
Oh yeah,
in
right.
The moment.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Brian said, I never say this on the first date. Once you realize you want to pursue things any further with that person, if it's something that's, going to be a deal breaker, there's no reason either to waste either of your time on it, but you don't want to, necessarily do it right away. That's what I think. I think you need to, once a certain amount of time goes by, if you think you're going to be more serious with that person, that's the appropriate play. Jeff says like a month or two. Not too soon, but not enough time that you're already, too far down that road.
Matt said, Thick sounds like the rabbit thing happened to him. No, I've never gotten home and found my significant other sitting on the bed in a rabbit suit. Nope, never happened. Never will.
What about Dallas Cowboys outfit?
Yeah, that's cool. Well, like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader outfit?
Not helping you with that.
Carrie said, I think it depends on the severity level of your kink. Like, is it just kind of like this? Or is it, hey, if you don't pop a toe in my mouth, I can't finish?
Okay.
Kelly's going to roll. Kelly's going to hawk. Is that what it was? Hork? Hork. Kelly's going to hork. We learned I learned that's a word for throwing up.
No feet.
Today.
Keep your ankles covered too.
Keep your ankles.
You're really, you're really moving up the old. What are you, Amish?
No. like a nice long dress that leaves everything to the imagination.
Now, Amanda Moore said, I'd rather touch someone's feet than their hands. You know where their feet have been, but their hands touch everything.
Yeah, but you usually wash your hands. You wash your hands multiple times a day. No one's washing their feet.
You don't wash your feet?
Yeah, when I shower.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not going to the bathroom. Oh, man, I've been walking around in these shoes for like 2 hours. I should probably pull my socks off and wash these real quick. No, nobody does that. Normal or nope? Nope.
No, Doug, I do not want Heather to dress up as Troy Aikman.
Jerry Jones? All right, CD Lamb.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Evelyn says, ick, feet. I found my people.
Yeah, Cody's kind of like where I was. Like I said, if you're going to get physical, so, Cody's saying once you have hooked up, that's when you need to express your kinks.
Am I right that there's a little area on Hinge or Bumble you could just put that out there and then really weed out the dating pool?
Yeah, I think if you're using an app, yeah. But if you just meet somebody in person and you never got on an app, I guess, what do how do you go about that?
I gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. The feet thing is...
I just feel like whether it's feet or something else, like Kelly said, throw it out there. You don't want to alarm somebody with that. You don't want somebody, she's thinking tomorrow she's going to take you home to meet mom and dad, and all of a sudden the night before you come in with your, whipped and chained outfit and, throw a wrench in that. Hey, honey, I got you a costume too. Wait a minute.
Now, wait a minute. I don't know. I don't think it's the same Josh. Josh and Heath wrote us the letter. This Josh said, I think there are soft ways to open those kind of conversations as opposed to fully revealing yourself. So maybe kind of ease into it. Maybe you're asking.
How does one ease into the
Josh
feet?
Is asking her, hey, what kind of things are you into?
How do you ease into the feet conversation?
I don't know. Just ask, I guess. I don't know.
You ever see someone's big toe and just want to... No. No, I don't. Ever. Okay, good to know. I just don't see how it's going to go.
All right. Well, I don't know if we helped you, Jeff, but...
Josh,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, the feet thing is really... it's got all of us
bring it back,
going sideways here.
Rick's reliving a traumatic past experience on the air.
No, it's nothing like that at all. Jeez. All right. Well, if you would like to get in on group therapy, just email me, thickrick@theblitz.com. You want an unbiased opinion on anything at all. We do this every Wednesday, right around 8:35.
Three things you need to know before you go.
Well, another example to check your temper on the roads. Columbus police say a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed in a road rage incident last night at the UDF near Clyde and Demarest. Officers say they were called to that UDF just after 8 p.m. and found 17-year-old Gage Anderson suffering from a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead about 30 minutes later at the hospital. Witnesses were able to describe the vehicle that left the scene of that shooting. A police helicopter found it. Officers were able to make an arrest after a chase. 30-year-old Skylar Burley was taken into custody and charged with murder. Police say the shooter and the victim did not know each other.
The anger. I don't get it.
Gosh,
Stop
it's
it.
not worth
Stop it, people. I mean, ridiculous.
New York City's portal to Dublin is ending its run next month, so no live humping the portal for the other side of the... across the pond to see.
What are you going to do on Thursday night?
I know. Well, there goes my weekend. Thanks.
They're going to be taking that thing down on September 2nd. If you purchased a pair of Hey Dudes online and had any issues with delayed shipping or refunds, you could qualify for a payout as part of a nearly $2 million settlement between the company and the Federal Trade Commission. There are a few issues here, but payments will be sent directly to more than 30,000 customers who bought Hey Dudes from the website. And then apparently Hey Dude failed to notify customers of shipping delays and then didn't provide cancellation or refunds for delayed orders. The company was also accused of giving gift cards instead of cash refunds for out-of-stock items, and that's a violation of the mail order rule. Hey Dude was also accused of suppressing negative reviews, only posting the highest ratings on its website, with more than 80% of reviews that didn't give 4 or more stars suppressed, and that is a violation of the FTC Act. So if you are eligible for a payment from this Hey Dude settlement, you will get an email from noreply@consumersentinel.gov, and payments will be made via PayPal. You always wonder, now this is the funny part of the story about this Hey Dude story, is that the company found out they were being investigated by the FTC, and instantly they just threw on all the reviews. They stopped suppressing. So all of a sudden they went from total 5-star reviews to getting the reviews that we should have been able to see all along. We're like, well, that typically doesn't help your case when all of a sudden you bombard your site with 1 million reviews that came in like 2 years ago.
When you guys decide you like to rag on my Skechers, I had a lot of texts saying, you should try out Hey Dudes. You should get a pair of Hey Dudes. And I looked at them and I'm like, yeah, I don't think those are for me.
They're not comfortable. They're not comparable. My gosh. They're not comparable shoes. I mean, you have your Skechers, which there are Skechers that are not supportive at all. But these Hey Dudes are like strapping some burlap around your feet. I think they're cute. I have a pair. I don't wear them that often, but I think they're cute shoes. They're not supportive at all. Like if you have any, I don't know, man, just make sure you're like walking on flat surface, because anything else is like, the shoes kind of slide around and your feet aren't very stable in them. Like I said, it's like tying a pair of burlap around your foot.
You know what I cannot get into still to this day?
Huh?
Crocs.
Oh, no.
Crocs bought Hey Dude. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I know Post Malone has made bajillion dollars on. I cannot
Tim Tebow's all about them. And
cannot get behind the Crocs.
Fishing in the rain. They're good for
You know what
fishing
Crocs
in the
look
rain.
like? Crocs looks like
They
when
look
you
like
were
plastic sandals.
When you were a little kid and you want, man, I either want some Adidas or some Nike soccer slides. And your grandma took you to the dollar store and got you Crocs. Hey, these are the same thing. No, they're not.
No,
not even close.
But I don't know. I don't do this. What are they? The slide-ins?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what Hey Dudes are. You just,
like the sketch. I'm
slide-on
talking about the
shoes.
Sketcher slide-ins or step-ins. What do they call them?
Yeah.
Something, whatever. They
we
are.
know what you mean.
No, I have regular Skechers, but I don't know. They're really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but People love to get on my case about Skechers. Even that stupid kid.
Yo, bro, if you got Skechers on, get out my face, bro.
I don't want to hang out with you either, a-hole.